Hey everybody, hello, hello, hello. Look at all the people here already. You guys are awesome. Oh, tell you what, that's family and friends. You guys are wonderful. Look at this, I have to scroll back up. So Julie, you're here, you're the first one. Anna, thank you for being here. Mimsy's Garden, Vonnie and Katie, hello, hello, hello. Thank you so much for coming. Look at that. Mimsy, you're just on it already. Yep, we live somewhat in the same state. We are just kind of a couple hours away. But yep, staying warm. It's really decent. So look at you guys are just like on it, ready to go. This is the last Monday of January. Woohoo! Alicia, hello. How are you feeling? I hope things are improving for you. Same with you, Julie. I know everybody's kind of dealing with some things. So, oh, Alicia, you just got in from buying protective precautionary gear for the coronavirus. Awesome. I actually ordered a mask from Amazon yesterday, so it'll be here tomorrow. So I'm hoping that that'll be good. It's an N99. So that's what Gil recommends. And so I'm hoping that that'll be good. Hey, Mary Brown, hello. Thank you for coming. How's the weather down there? Hey, Thrifty VG, you guys have been getting some wind out your way. Oh, Connie, hugs to you too. You are a huggy person because you do hugs like all the time. It's so warming. Thank you so much. Today is a good day. Okay, that's good. Michigan Daffodil, hello. Thanks for being here. Paul from Holland. Christy Betts, hello. Oh, you guys are all coming in, 15 in here already, so this is great. Don, hello. Thank you for coming. You with all your exclamation points and your smiley glasses. You're cool people there. That's so cool. Grammy Karen, hello. Thank you for coming. Oh, Mims, you're on it already. You just, oh, Alicia, that's so sweet. You guys make my day. You really do. Hey, Eli, hello. Thanks for coming. Oh, Connie, thank you. You guys are just so wonderful. Rainbow 505, hello. Thank you for being here. Oh, goodness sakes. Everybody's coming in. You know, that's what happens when it's still dark out in the evening and we're still cold and it's wintry and not a whole lot going on yet. So everybody's coming in. That's so great. I love it. So, Grammy Karen, yes. Tangi's here? Did I miss that? Freedom Homestead, did I get Marco about Tangi? Yeah, I've been in and out of meetings today. Oh, yes, it came in 14 minutes ago. Sorry, I was setting up. I'll have to listen to it later. I'm sorry. Is she okay? Or is it just something that I just need to watch? So who else is here? Wilderstead, hello. Thanks for coming in. I know you were here first last week, but weren't able to stay. So how are things up north there? You're not that much further north than me, but it is cold because you're right off the lake there, so you get everything. So Alicia, you're looking forward to spring to start your first garden. Decided to buy some veggies that are already started this year. You know what? Sometimes you have to do that, depending on your schedule, your health situation, all that kind of stuff. So it just kind of works that way. Oh, thanks, Eli. Yes, I have to apologize if my phone goes off at all. Like I said, I met with my sheriff last week or the week before last week, and after the whole 2-family thing. And he told me to leave my phone on during my live. So if it goes off, I apologize, but it's under instructions. So just wanted to let you guys know if it starts to ring that you're not annoyed. So got it. Okay. No, that's totally fine. We kind of thought that might be anyway, Anna. So that's totally fine. All right. I'm glad you stayed for the whole show because I've got some stuff that I know that you'll want to weigh in on. So it's okay. You know what? We're right around that too. I think, well, a little bit less. We're about 20 degrees. Let me double check here. Uh-oh, low battery. Oh, we're down to 16 Fahrenheit. So we're a little bit lower than you, but what else do I have here? Sorry, I'm good. Priceless Notions. Hello from Tennessee. Thank you for coming. Oh, Mary Brown, you're just too sweet. Thank you. I appreciate that. You type with one finger. You know, that's the way to get around sometimes. Hi, Stringfield Ridge Farm. Thank you. You know, that's dedication. You're on the road and you're still listening in. That's awesome. Thank you. Oops. See, that went up. That's telemarketer. The Michigan daffodil, they were swatted, and it was just kind of a lot of conversation going on last week about how to handle things, and kind of have to. I don't want to start rehashing a lot of things because it just kind of brings up everything again. So we're just moving on. I have a plan. If you need to, it'd be good to go back and watch their lives to find out, especially like Tuesday night. That would be really good. Who else do we have? Lisa Lee, thank you so much for coming. I really appreciate that. Lazy Pond Farm, hello. Getting started on homesteading. Milking the rabbits? Oh, I was like, I didn't think you could milk rabbits. You're just pulling one over on me there, that's for sure. Hey, Max, hello. I am doing fine. You can tell I've got my voice back. I'm feeling good. So appreciate everybody's prayers. You're getting me better. Grandma's so happy. Oh, yes, you were here before. Sorry. That was somebody else. Thank you. You guys are just terrific. You're just terrific. So, yeah, the weather's just been really unusually warm for us. Typically, like January 25th or 26th, which just was this weekend, is typically our coldest day of the year. And that's like last year it was, I think 65 below, wind chill, that type of thing. So typically our temperatures can be easily 30 to 40 below 0 Fahrenheit on this day. And right now, like I said, it's 16 degrees. That's actually cooler than what we've had and what will be through the weekend. So it seems like we're getting kind of our January thaw a little late. So I don't know if February is going to end up being super cold or what. Oops, my chat stopped here. But anyway, it's just kind of update here in Minnesota, what's going on. So you guys are just chatting away here. I'm sorry if I'm going to be missing you. Fairy Tale Creations, hello. Thanks for coming in. Leanna, hi. Anybody else that I missed here? Sorry if I miss you. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, I am glad that I feel better too. All right. So there's a lot of things. I guess we could jump right in for, yeah, we got 31 here. This would be good. I wanted to, my main subject, I've got a lot of things I want to kind of cover, but main subject type thing is on ice fishing, which is something that those of us in the north kind of know about a little bit. And I know Wilderstead, they do it all the time. And there's a number of others from the north who are really, they know what it is and everything. But those of you from the south, it's kind of like, you go out on the lake? You walk on the lake, on the water, on the frozen stuff, and you do what? You drive on it, you do all this kind of stuff. So yeah. But aside from what ice fishing is, I have some rather humorous information here that'd be kind of in a story that'd be really good. And I got to tell you guys that so many times when Monday comes around, I have no idea what I'm going to talk about, because I always want to kind of have a subject to just, fill in the hour to discuss, to have time with you guys. Hey, Tinker's wife. Hi. I know I'm going to get distracted. I've got my story right here, right next to my chat. Organic Raw Roots. Hello. Yeah, like I said, if I miss you guys, I'm sorry. So anyway, today I was coming home from a meeting and driving on the highway, and I was behind a vehicle that was pulling a fish house, and I'm just like, oh, what do I even talk about tonight? I have no idea. And I'm looking at this fish house and looking at it as I'm following it. It's like, okay, I'll talk about fish houses and ice fishing and stuff. So I went online and I found this really cute story. But anyway, for those of you in the deep south or in the tropics or something that have never seen ice fishing or know what any of these terms are, this is a little bit of information from Wikipedia here for you. So lake fishing sounds cool. It is very cool in the winter, yes. Because we have to go out on the ice, and it has to be certain inches thick. And I know Dave and Amanda at Wilders said they would have a better idea of what the ice thicknesses are supposed to be, but it's like 4 inches thick. You can walk on it. If it's 6 inches thick, you can take like a 4-wheeler on it. It has to be like 10 inches thick to be able to drive on it, that type of thing. Right now around my area, the lakes are probably right around 15 to 18 inches thick. So, which is probably about 15 inches less thick, narrower, whatever, than they were a year ago. So this weekend is the annual ice fishing derby that my brother hosts. And so they're going to have a lot of different dynamics than they've had other years in order to be able to host it, because the sheriff said, can't have all those vehicles out on there. The ice is not thick enough. So anyway, so what is ice fishing exactly, for all of you who don't know? It's like ice fishing is the act of cutting or drilling a hole through ice that covers a body of water. It can be a pond or a big lake or whatever. And then you lower lines with hooks and bait or lures through that hole in an attempt to catch fish. Some anglers throw spears with an attached rope through the hole. So you can either spear or line fish. Now we talk about fish houses. An ice shanty, also called an ice shack, ice house, fishing shanty, fish house, fish coop, bob house, ice hut, or a dark house. I don't know how the dark house came in there, other than maybe years ago when they didn't have any light in there or not, but so they can be a small, they're a portable shed placed on a frozen lake to provide shelter during ice fishing. So they can be as small and cheap as a plastic tarp draped over a frame of 2x4s, or as expensive as a small cabin with heat, bunks, electricity, and cooking facilities. So, yes, Leanna, you can freeze your butt off too, yes. All right, so who do we have? Built on the Rock. Hi, Kiri, how are you? So in northern climates, ice shanties are the center of a large, often humorous folklore. Fishermen often decorate their ice houses in humorous ways, and toilets are a popular joke addition, while others studiously work on ways to make their ice shanties more comfortable and efficient. Much of the folklore involves the inherent danger of erecting a structure atop a frozen pond. So, Michigan Daffodil, yes, I totally understand that. Okay, we've got the scoop here from Wilderstead. So 4 inches walking, 6 inches ATV or snow machine, 12 inches small car, 15 inches truck, 48 inches for a tractor trailer. Okay, so they have ice. They're in Canada, north of Sault Ste. Marie, north of Lake Superior. So we have ice roads here to bring supplies up to northern communities. It's the only way to get them in the winter. I can understand that. Yeah, because from like mid-Minnesota, the center of Minnesota, all the way up through Canada, there's almost more lakes than there is land. So there's a lot of places that you just can't get to other than you're on the water. So thanks, Katie. Let me see, who do we have? Typos. Hi, Lisa Lee. Yeah, oh my goodness. Every year there's stories of vehicles going through, and you see like an extended cab pickup with a long cabin fish house, that's another 20 feet, 30 feet long. And by the time they get over a section of ice, the back end of the fish house is going through the ice, and then it kind of brings down everything else. So anyway, sorry. All right, so that kind of gives you an idea of what's going on. Now, in my part of Minnesota, in west central and in northern Minnesota, there are a lot of Scandinavian people and a lot of heritage from the Scandinavians. And that's Norwegian and Sweden, and or Swedish. And so there's a lot of jokes, not to make fun of them, but there's just a lot of jokes using 2 names. One is Sven, so it's S-V-E-N, Sven, and then Ole, which is O-L-E. So you have Sven and Ole. So there's a lot of jokes about, like, yes, Sven and Ole went here and they did this. And so anyway, this story involves Sven, and this is written by, let me see who wrote this here. Excuse me, Tom Euling in 2008. He wrote this article, and it's really very funny. So it's from, I'll be reading it. It'll sound like first person, but it's actually him that's writing it. So kind of get that in perspective. So it's the history of ice fishing in Minnesota. For the avid angler, ice fishing is a way to extend our favorite sport beyond the summer months. Minnesota lakes are frozen over, on average, 10 months out of the year, which is really only about 7 months. So, but anyway. And if it weren't for ice fishing, we'd have to go a long time without fishing. It's bad enough we have to go that long without golfing. Ice fishing in Minnesota is a subculture, and there's a strong camaraderie among the anglers. Ice fishing was completely unheard of in Minnesota until the late 1800s. In 1888, Sven Stevenson built a cabin on a hill overlooking Lake Minnewaska, which happens to be kind of near me. It was a very wet fall, and the hill had suffered a few mudslides. The details are kind of sketchy, but it appears after a heavy January snowfall, Sven's outhouse and a sizable chunk of frozen dirt slid down the hill and out onto Lake Minnewaska, all while Sven was inside doing his business. The friction from all that frozen dirt sliding across the ice created enough heat to open up a small hole in the ice. Amazingly, the outhouse ended up right over the top of it. Sven, of course, wasn't sure what was going on. But when things settled down, he stood up, looked through the hole, and saw fish swimming below the outhouse. Being a fanatic angler, Sven ran to the cabin, grabbed his fishing pole, ran back to the outhouse, and lowered some bait into the hole. It wasn't long before a crowd gathered to see what Sven was up to. I'm glad you guys are having a good time. It is so funny. I just laughed so hard when I first read this. Okay, a few days later, other area residents pushed outhouses onto the lake, and a small community was born. In the late 1800s, most anglers were men. The men found that they enjoyed being out on the ice away from our nagging wives, as one man wrote in his journal. In fact, many ice fishing pioneers built additions onto their outhouses and even put in wood stoves and a week's worth of food so that they could enjoy extended periods away from home. This tradition is actually still practiced today. It definitely is. Finally, spring arrived, and the community of outhouses was pulled away by horses, equipped with special ice-gripping horseshoes. Sven's outhouse was not removed in time and plunged through the thinning ice on April 12, 1889. The Minnesota Historical Society attempted to recover the structure in 1975, but despite weeks of searching with a one-man submarine, it failed. Ice fishing is different than regular open water fishing in several ways. The equipment used is probably the largest difference. Ice fishing poles are short, so that an angler can get, first of all, his line through a small hole in the ice, then fight a fish and look down in the hole at the same time, and then fit within the confined spaces of the ice fishing house or shelter. The use of an ice fishing house or shelter is optional. Many anglers simply make a hole in the ice and sit on an overturned pickle bucket. I've tried this, but with the typical Minnesota wind, it gets cold in a hurry. Incidentally, used 5-gallon pickle buckets go for about $5 in Minnesota, the highest price in the nation. Most people notice that every restaurant in Minnesota uses a pickle to garnish your meal, sometimes 2 pickles. That makes sense since the restaurants derive a huge source of tax-free income selling the empty pickle buckets. Ice fishing tournaments, and there are a lot of them, do not allow the use of ice fishing houses. Although I'm going to interject something that the one that my brother does, they do. So they've allowed ice fish houses out there and vehicles, everything. But this year it's going to be a little different because the ice will not be thick enough. Okay, so the demand for pickle bucks. Oh, okay. The demand for pickle buckets in the towns that host those contests is so huge, local stores actually stock them. These are luxury pickle buckets, though, with a cushioned seat and aerated live well for bait. You can get really fancy, too. Hi, Barbara. Hello. I know I'm missing a few people, but it's like this story is just so great. I'm glad you guys are having a good time with it. Anglers create a 6 to 8 inch diameter hole in the ice with an ice auger. Now, an auger looks like it's like a big screw. It's about 4 feet high or something, with handles that go like this, so you can auger in there. And the big screw on the bottom is sharp and will drill a hole all the way through the ice. But some are gas powered. However, many people find that a small explosive detonation does the job quicker and for less money. Sometimes, though, people get carried away, and the next thing you know, half the lake ice is vaporized and all the windows on lakeshore property are blown out. And of course, fish die needlessly by the thousands because of the shock effect. I gotta tell you, that part's not true at all. So we would not be allowed to do that. So this type of overkill is frowned upon unless the demolition is part of the traditional Finnish celebration called Festival of Destruction. During Festival of Destruction, just about anything goes. So even aside from that, ice fishing is inherently dangerous, but there are several things you can do to increase your odds of survival. Dress warm. The wind always blows during the Minnesota winter, and hypothermia is always a concern. Carry a long nail or spike in your pocket. So if you do fall through the ice, you can use the spike to dig into the ice and pull yourself out. I've never tried it. I've never been in a situation to try it, so I don't know how that would work. Hey, Pete's Little Homestead, hello. You're just getting in on the end of a story, so you have to come in and listen to it later. But all right, try to avoid driving your car on the ice. For most lakes, you can walk or snowmobile to your fishing spot. Also, make sure the ice is thick and clear. I never go on the ice until I see that many other people have gone out before me. Never operate a heater that generates dangerous fumes inside of a fishing house. Always have adequate ventilation. Keep a fire extinguisher handy. Things have come a long way since Sven's first Minnesota ice fishing house. Today, most have a heat source, television, satellite dish, reclining chairs, bunk beds, rustic dining table and chairs, carpet, paneling, and in a few rare cases, a mortgage. The ice house must have the owner's name and phone number clearly displayed on the outside. There may be some other laws regarding ice houses, and anglers should check out the latest regulations. I do know that it is illegal to burn down an ice house, just to avoid having to get it off the ice in the spring. It's not too tough to find where the fish are. There are parts of a lake where fish tend to congregate, and their human pursuers will congregate directly above them. You can see these little villages out on the ice as you drive past most Minnesota lakes. My advice is to look for these little villages and then go ahead and squeeze into their territory. You may get beer cans thrown at you, but Minnesotans are pretty forgiving over time, especially if you buy them more beer. The end. So anyway, guys, I just thought that was a great story. So I saw a lot of LOLs going on there and a lot of laughing smiley face. So oh, I'm glad you guys can still keep on conversations though while that's going on. So I'm just going to go back up here and try to catch a few. Barbara Carbone, your son loves to ice fish. Awesome. Tinker's wife. My son got to ice fish in Minot, North Dakota in college. Good. Crocodile Dundee in New York. LOL. Was that coming from another another statement up there? It's hard to get like bits and pieces of the conversation here. So, hey, Move North Homestead. Hi, thanks for coming. Heating a fishing house would make the ice melt, wouldn't it? Well, you know what? You'd think it would, but there might be like, if the ice is 3 feet thick, there might be a sheen of some slick ice or even, an inch or two of water on top of it, but it doesn't melt it enough to go through. So there's definitely regulations about when you can get the ice house out and different things for the fish house. And then they all have to be off the ice. Generally, it's the end of February. So by the last day in February, they have to be out of there. Otherwise, people get fined because they don't want these houses going down into the lake. And it goes down into a 50 or 60 or 100-foot lake, and it's not going to be retrieved. Even if it goes down into a 30-foot lake, it could end up interfering with boating and all kinds of things with that. But it's just that would be just a huge pollutant if they allowed that to go in that way. So, yes, I know some people that get really fancy. I mean, they've done like log cabin type of things, and bunk beds, kitchenette, all kinds of things. Some will have, like a bucket for the bathroom or a composting toilet or something, but most often they just go around the back of the fish house, which is really disgusting too. But, if they're out there for days on end, they've got to do something. There aren't porta potties that are set out on the lake at all, so it can be dangerous if people aren't careful. So, you just have to know the ice, you have to know the area, and things like that. So Grandma's so happy. You have a car in the middle of the lake in your area, and they do a contest to see how long it stays there before it breaks through the ice. Oh dear. Hopefully they're prepared to pull it out right away. So you know what? We have these long, cold winters. There's something that we have to do, right? It's a huge amount of entertainment, and you got to do something to keep yourselves going. So, so Michigan Daffodil is not like that for you. You're talking about like ice fishing or the regulations, or also, I would like to know. Let everybody chime in here. We've got 35 people in here. Yay! You guys are awesome. Even if you're in the South or in the tropics or in Australia or in Holland or wherever you guys are, what is your favorite winter activity? Because like even if you're like on the Gulf Coast or something, the water is just a little too cool yet to be swimming in there. So even if you just go walking along the beach or do something like that. But what is your favorite winter activity? Mine, growing up and for years, was always downhill snow skiing. Loved it. And I would still love to go, only I had surgery on my knee 3 years ago, and I can't do that anymore. So, or 2.5 years ago, yeah. So don't want to screw up my knee again. What the heck is winter? Yes, I'm sure you guys have kind of the same thing all year round, but oh, the big house with many amenities. Yeah, it's just crazy. Hey, Old Reading Farm, thank you. It's for planning for spring. Okay. Because here, you know, when we have winter for so long, for staying warm inside the house. Oh, taking the kids out sledding. That's good. Yep, sledding. Yeah, your knees don't let you ski. They're on kind of a pain to, sometimes it's a pain to get old, right? Snowmobiling. Awesome. Favorite thing is walking in the woods. Too thick in the summer, no mosquitoes in the woods in this time of year. Exactly. So now, yeah, I love to get out and just walk in the snow and go through the woods and stuff. It's beautiful. You used to love sledding. I know. It's they're really fun until you have, you know, some accidents with them, and then it's not quite so fun anymore. Organic raw roots. You're in Florida, right? So you have spring and summer. So you've got like, what, 11 months of summer and 1 month of spring or something. So making snow people. Yeah, Tinker's wife, I like that too. That's just walking in the snow and enjoying it. But yeah, I started, in my family, we had season passes to a local ski area. And so whenever I was around 6 or 7 years old, something like that, we would start on our first pair of skis, and then, you know, we had several sets, and we just work our way up there. There were 6 of us, so I kind of went that direction. But when it does snow, you tend to go out for a walk. Okay. Miami, in the farm in Fort White, Florida. Okay. Getting started on homesteading. I should not ask you questions, I guess. Bubby. Oh my goodness. They should pray for snow that you trip in it and, yeah, go face down. That would be. The only good part is the bugs die. Yeah, we have no bugs then. Although when it starts to get up a little over freezing here, somehow the flies start coming out of the woodwork. So they thaw out pretty quickly. So priceless notions. You sow and read when you're not dodging mud puddles. Well, thanks, Eli. Um, so what else is anybody saying? So, all right. Oh, mild winter on Long Island. You want a blizzard before spring. Just to have the snow, or to have a day off of work, or to just get rid of all those bugs that are there. I hear you moved north, Homestead. You don't bounce anymore. Well, I wiped out in front of the library Saturday morning, so yeah, I'm okay. Nothing got broken or anything like that, but it's still kind of hit that ice and just shoot right on down. You get a fourth of an inch, everything closes down, and driving becomes treacherous. Well, yeah, people don't know how to drive in it, absolutely. So Nova Scotia is getting pretty cold right now too. Just to have the snow. Yeah, there's something about that. So yeah, love skiing. Oh, on skiing. So we'd start out, we'd be on the bunny hill, and we just learn how to just be on our skis and do little, the little bombing of the small hill, and then learn how to snow plow, and which is putting your skis together like this, just going down the hill, digging into your edges, and then making turns with them, and then just taking some lessons and just going through. And both my parents skied with us, so they taught us, and it was just really fun. It was a great family time to be out in the elements. And then my cousins who lived nearby also skied, so we would get together, every weekend through the winter, and every day through winter break and everything. And so did a lot of skiing. It was really fun. So the hive in the homestead, yes, I am fully recovered. Thank you so much. Skiing was dangerous for you even as a kid. Oh, yeah, oh goodness, a skiing accident. Yes, I did. But you have to put up with rain, idiots. Oh, I suppose. I know that if you don't get rain very often, you get a buildup of like the oils and stuff on the ground, and so you get a little bit of rain, and it's just slick, just like greased lightning there, So organic raw roots. I used to do the snow, then we moved to Miami. You love the warmth. Hubby works in Miami, moved to the farm. Okay. That'll be so nice to be at the farm. So thanks, Barbara. Appreciate it. All right. The snowmobiling, the mud took your boot. Yeah. Well, you're not supposed to snowmobile in the mud. You're supposed to do it in the snow. That's why it's a snowmobile. Every time you tried skiing up here was ice, and you ended up super bruised. Yeah. So Dave and Amanda, do you do some skiing up around your place, or do you do cross-country skiing or something? So it'd be kind of interesting to know. All right. So when the South is planting and just getting ready and gearing up for spring and thinking about all this, we are just entering our midwinter activities. And so we have to find ways to just keep things interesting and to keep life fun. And, otherwise people get the winter blues. So we try to keep that going here. Oh, oh. Okay. Eli, are you getting bonked there? Hey, Paul from Whitetail Hollow Acres. Hi. Yeah, mud is not good when you're on a snowcat. Absolutely. So I was wanted to find out how many people have been using their, oh, David and Manic came on. Okay. You should do more of it. Snowshoeing. Oh, yeah. If you want to go out into the bush, yeah, absolutely. 3 to 4 feet of snow, going to be an interesting tree tapping. Oh, yeah, you guys are getting a lot of snow there. That's for sure. Yes, Dutch, it did. The coronavirus, absolutely. It's got a few more cases in I think one in LA or in the LA area, and then what was the other one? Can't remember. But they said there were 2 or 3 new ones today. So it is going to be. It's going to be spreading. We just have to be really, really careful. Right? So, Kiri, you went cross country skiing a few times. Last one was when you were in college. Skis needed waxing. Oh no, that wasn't a very long experience there. That's for sure. Well, my one skiing accident was, and I was pretty proficient in skiing by the time I got into high school and everything. And the Black Hills or the Diamond Hills were fun, I should say. But anyway, there was one time I was, it must have been about 17 or so, and I was out in the evening. I think it was late afternoon to evening. Anyway, it was cold and it was snowing, and the visibility was kind of low. And one of the hills that we had that wasn't a very long hill, but and not very steep, so it had what they call a tow rope. So it's a rope attached to big gears and everything that you can just grab onto and put your skis in a rut, and it'll bring you back up to the top of the hill. Well, you got to hold on. You have to hold on to it a particular way and everything. Well, the wind is blowing and the snow coming in my eyes, so I had my head tucked down as I'm going up the hill, and all of a sudden I felt like I hit a tree with my head. So it was this eyebrow here, and I actually ran into the back of somebody else in their head, and he just was like, "Ow, what was that?" And I'm just like, "Bang!" And then I'm on the ground, and my brother was kind of close by, so he saw what happened, and they were just, it just swelled right up. And anyway, they got the ski patrol and put me on a sled, brought me down to the you call it, not the Red Cross, but the the shelter in the shed that does the medical emergency type of stuff. So anyway, I ended up splitting my eyebrow, and my eye swelled right up, and I had a concussion with that, but it turned my whole eye inside purple, and the whole side of my face was green and black and blue, and it was pretty bad. So I went back to school. Here I am, in senior in high school, and so my hair was long, so I'm just like draping my hair over it and trying to walk through. But yeah, it was, so always watch where you're going. Moral of the story: always watch where you're going. So that's kind of my thing. which in, I didn't have any broken bones, didn't have anything else that happened. So that was pretty minimal compared to what some people go through with ski accidents. So I didn't fall out of any chairlift or anything like that. So it was good. So those of you with canning stuff, if you've canned meat, I've been using it in a few different ways. If you just, like I just did straight chicken and straight steak and, things like that. What it's been really, really good for, I'm trying to be really versatile with it. So when I break open a pint of chicken, it's not just, going into, a soup or a stew, or going into just the skillet and just sauteing it up or something. I'm trying to, I could take out a few pieces and shred it, put it in a salad. Put some things, like the steak was really good that I ended up sauteing it out with some mushrooms and onions and everything, put it into an omelet. Just different things like that. So kind of get creative with it, put it in a sandwich or something, add it to mayonnaise or whatever, homemade mayonnaise, and make a sandwich or a salad or something like that. But just doing, taking that meat and learning to diversify with it and to figure out some things. I think that's really, really helpful. So, okay, you guys have just been chatting here, so I'm sorry I'm missing everybody, but busy little house. Hey, Karen, how are you doing? I'm sorry I haven't been really conversing with you too much. I had too much to say today. I'm sorry. Yeah, scared of yellow snow. Yeah, you should be doing that. I had to laugh. Oh, whose live was it this weekend? Oh, it was it was Roots and Refuge last night. One of the boys came to Jess and said, well, he's drinking yellow water. She's like, we don't have any yellow water. We don't. And I'm just thinking, oh my goodness, it's like, don't eat yellow snow. Don't drink yellow water. And so it's just like, oh, well, Christy wearing a helmet skiing, that would be good too. So, Paul, it's just really fun. I love skiing. I just can't do it anymore. But Mount Hood have all kinds of accidents. Lost skiers too. Oh wow! I know I'm way behind here, but oh my goodness. Hey, Dave from Oak Knob. Hello. Thanks for coming. You missed a good story. You're gonna have to go back and listen to it. Dave and Amanda can tell you that. They can let you know. So. Hey, Stringfield Ridge Farm, thanks. I hope the story didn't make you go off the road or anything. So, I'm making lemonade from lemons. You still have canned pork and chicken. That's great. That's awesome. So, it's been so nice to have that. It's like you've got chicken in the freezer or something. It's like, oh, I don't feel like cooking that up. And it's like, wait a minute, I've got a jar of it. And then you can just throw it in there. So, it's been great. All right. Prep tip for today. I forgot to do it last week because it's so new. I just wanted to do that. But 2 weeks ago, I started it. And my tip then was just learn the skills that you need. And it was the same day that Doug from Off Grid, Doug and Stacy, put out his video, said that be master of one. So really just learn the skills that you need to have for your area, for your homestead, for the things that you need. So obviously the skills that I need for Minnesota and for winter and different things like that are far different than what you guys in Miami or California or something would need. So definitely, I'm just looking at my screen now. It's really fuzzy, isn't it? It's like, I don't know if I can. Oh well, it's been that way all hour. I guess that's not going to get any better. My tip this week is to make a list, or make lists, multiple lists of your supplies and your food, so that you know what you have. If you need to put it like in a little notebook or something, and just keep it on your jar or on your shelves with your jars, do that. But start making lists of the food that you have, how many jars, and not just like, oh, I've got tomatoes and I've got green beans. It's like, well, how many? And how many pints do you have? How many quarts do you have? So that you can figure out how long that lasts you, so that you know how long or how much you need to grow the next year. Also, make a list of the things that you know that you're going to need. Excuse me. Drink water. Let's say that you need, or you want to put up 25 pounds of salt. And it's like, okay, on my list, I noticed that I've got 10 pounds of salt. Okay, so I need to sometime within the next 6 months or a year or whatever, I need to get 15 15 pounds more of salt because that's what I want to have. If you need 400 pounds of salt and you have 20 pounds of salt, it's like, okay, I have a little ways to go here. But just so, that's just one item. But then, you have meat, and then you've got toilet paper, and you've got toothpaste, and you've got all these different things. And it's like, make lists of, and just try to keep them in categories of what do I have, or what do I need, and how much more do I have to get, and it's so, that would really help you in your planning. It's going to help in your garden planning. It's going to help in your budgeting. It's going to help in your prepping planning. And it'll help you see exactly where you're at. Now, I've actually taken my list and put them into a spreadsheet on my computer. And so I will keep adding to it and modifying it. But I do print it up and put it with my stuff. So I have a printed copy as well as on my computer. And it just helps to keep me a little more organized, and I just keep that list with all of my stuff. I'll keep it like with my supplies of Mylar bags and all that kind of stuff. So I know where it is when I need to look at it. And so then I would, once you've got the list made and you kind of get an idea of where you're at with it, then maybe like once a month, go back through all your supplies, and it's like, okay, what have I used? All right, we started out with 100 jars of tomato sauce. Now we're down to 60. It's like, okay, we used 40 jars of tomato sauce this month, which is a lot. But anyway, just as an example. But anyway, if you do that, then, you can kind of gauge exactly what you're using. And also to see those things that you aren't even using at all or aren't even touching. So anyway, so make lists. So first thing, gain the skills, then make lists. And Eli, you've got a really good point there, that water is number one. And so, yeah, in your list, make sure it's like, what do I have in the supply of water? What do I have to purify water with? What do I have to collect water in? And it's like, do I have enough to keep me going for a long time? Do I have access to it? And like you said, salt, and then, yeah, ammo. So thanks, Eli. That's a good point. Hey, Gil. Hello. Thanks for coming in. Yes. Have I talked about fish houses? Yes, I did, Paul. We kind of started a little early on that because there were so many people in there right away. So I think I started probably by 10 after. So if you go back and watch that, it was really good. So it was a great story, and I hope you enjoy it. So you need to grow some lettuce to add to the beets you can this month. Okay. Yeah, so exactly. You have all of these things canned. It's like, okay, what other things can I make to go with them? So you've got all this, let's again say tomato sauce. Well, we like pasta in our family. So, do you make homemade pasta, or do you just go out and buy a bunch of inexpensive bags to have stored up, or what do you do? So anyway, those are all things that for your own family, for your own person, just to make the list, and it's going to be personalized for everybody. So one particular list is not going to work for the next person. Okay, so storing the water in plastic containers. Anybody want to weigh in on that for especially long-term storage? I have plastic gallon jugs, but it's not super long-term. It's just you can get me by a couple weeks or something, but yeah, salt. All right, Paul. Yeah, watch the replay. That'd be good. So, thanks, Bub. I'm glad you like the story too. So, what else do we have here? And canning water, that absolutely helps too. Yep. If you've got, the extra jars, and Kiri, can you can water sealed in a half-gallon jar? I would like to know that. I have not canned in half-gallon jars. I use them for a lot of things, but I have not canned in them. So I would like to know that. Yeah, gallon jugs from milk will deteriorate and break. Absolutely. So they need to be water grade, really good jugs in order to store them. And if you use them frequently in and out, do replace them or clean them out really well or something. So, hey, farm in our backyard. Hello. Thanks for coming in. So you keep your water bottles in their original plastic containers. Okay. As for the gallon wine jugs. Oh, okay. Because they've got like a handle on it and everything, and they're glass, right? Or do they make them plastic now? Yep, make sure that they're BPA free. I don't buy milk, so I don't know about that. How long is water good for in the original plastic containers or bottles? You know, I know that like the 12 or 16 ounce bottles that you buy at the store and everything, they tend not to reuse them. I will refill them just from home for, I don't know, a dozen times or something before I replace it. But if I use those, otherwise I try to use, you know, an Nalgene bottle or something like that, or just like when I'm home, I'm just drinking from a glass. And, but otherwise, I do have gallon jugs that I will go to the store where they've got the reverse osmosis stuff and everything, and I'll refill them and use that for my everyday stuff. If you have a well water and you old-fashioned hand pump, that's awesome. That is great. So 5-gallon ones are good for storing. Now, how long will they store if they're in a 5-gallon plastic jug? I mean, before they start taking on, do they take on the flavor of the plastic or get weird or anything like that? So, that I would like to know. Yeah, you know, that is really funny. We talk about the plastic bottles breaking down for don't reuse them, don't do this because they break down and they will do, you know, then it won't be good for you. But then we throw them in landfills and they never break down. So it's like, okay, where's the thing? I think they're just trying to sell more bottles actually. But, you know, I think it's just the quality of the jug to make sure that the water doesn't have the taste in there. But if you can have some other access to water other than just storing it in a big jug, that would be excellent. You just need to filter for ingesting versus washing. Okay. Oh, yeah, cold storage, that will make a difference too. Yep. You called Ball about canning deer broth for dogs in half-gallon jars. The issue was the heat. I don't know if water would be an issue. Okay. Wouldn't water be able to can in a water bath can though? A water bath canning? So, so many things, yeah. So anyway, yeah, all this plastic recycling and water storage, that would be a good subject for another time. So maybe if you guys throughout the next week find some information, bring it back next week and let me know. So exactly, Leanna, that's what I go through too. And that's why I have to go fill water jugs because I have very hard water with high iron in it. And so I have to have a softener. And I don't want to drink from the softened water with all this salt in there. So I do go fill probably 8 gallons a week. I go and fill that for just for myself. And refill all that. So, oh, that's a good idea. Yeah, just keep them stored away just for flushing toilets and things like that and washing. And because it doesn't need to be, you know, you can have the plastic taste to it just for that. It doesn't matter. So homework? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Are you doing a raspberry? Or are you like, like, ooh, good. No, it's just if you guys have a chance. I mean, I don't expect anything. So, oh yeah. Oh, Pete says on the half-gallon jars, it should tell you on the box what's recommended. Okay, I might have a box left. I'll have to go and check. I think I do. But anyway, guys, it's the top of the hour. I appreciate y'all being here and listening to the story, which I thought was great, and I'm glad you enjoyed it too. And Stivers are on, and I know there's a number of other people on tonight. Freedom Homestead and the Two Family Homestead, and anybody else that you know that's going on. So it's been wonderful. Thank you for sharing this evening with me and for coming. And you guys are awesome. We still had 30 people that hung out till the end. I really appreciate it. And I love you all. And you guys take care. And God bless. And again, always have hope. Have a great day and a great week. Bye-bye.